how do you think disruptive innovation to fintech and across the world?
Yep. So I think that's a great question. And as I went back to the beginning, financial health is a livelihood that is incredibly important for everybody, across the world. And so if you think about disruptive innovation, right now there's all these different companies that provide different capabilities. We provide brokerage services, investment capabilities, there's banking capabilities, there's other people who are looking at insurance capabilities and things like that. And if you think about the disruption around it, how do you really bring all of these capabilities together so that, a human being can look at their finance holistically across their different lives, right? And then how do you provide them with the right data so that they can make decisions compared to people who are similar to them in their stage of life and potentially making other decisions? And then how do you aid that through, machine learning and different interfaces so they can access that information at any time, any place, guided by the right digital service assistants to be able to do that without having to call into, a contact center or having to go into a branch. So I think the anytime, anywhere, personalized information that's holistic, powered by computers is really where the future of disruption is going to happen in the financial services industry.
And for something like TD Ameritrade, sustainability is very important. Innovation has to happen alongside. So to take sustainability along with you, it has to come to the lowest denominator, which is the person who's trading with you and beyond that. In the early days of internet, in Silicon Valley, the 101 which is the main artery between San Francisco and San Jose. There used to be an ad by E-Trade. Someday we'll all trade this way. I'm sure I'm giving my age away. So what I'm trying to get at is, if it doesn't touch your customer, if he or she doesn't understand the technology, you don't have a business model, sustainable business model.
Yep.
So how does it percolate down to the lowest denominator?
So I think one of the things that's different about us is education is a centerpiece of our business, right? And we recognize that people come in with different levels of sophistication throughout different points in their lives and different interests, right? So our focus is really to tailor around the client for who they are, recognizing that they're going to evolve at different points. So we have the most sophisticated trading platform in the industry in Thinkorswim. And there is a group of folks, who are many unsuspecting folks. You wouldn't think, people who may be working at a corner shop or even a taxi driver who spend their, days trading different sorts of instruments. They love doing that, right? So that's one segment that we provide a lot of education to. On the other end of things, people are just planning for their kids' college. And, we educate them with a lot of different videos and how-to guides around how to do that. Then there are people who do both. So we have those platforms as well. So education is really foundation, and the way that we deliver our education through videos on our platforms. We're also delivering our education through our Facebook Messenger bot. We'll also be delivering it through Alexa and other devices. So giving them that context around the investment decisions that they make and the trading decisions that they make is really, really important. I think what separates us from a lot of our competitors.
I'm going to come to the second half of this Q&A, which is a little bit more interesting for all of us, the personal side of your life. For all executives and entrepreneurs and good leaders, you have to have a good support from your house, from your spouse. And disruptive innovation also happens at the house level, continuously, with sustainability. So I had the opportunity of talking to a lovely wife. And she told me that one of the attributes that she likes about you is you constantly surprise her and keep her happy. It's not an easy task. So learning from you, how do you balance between work and domestic life?
I think this whole notion of work-life balance is something that it almost represents some separation, right? And both Anuja and I don't look at work and life as a separate thing. It's an integrated, balance, and we're partners in this journey of life, right? And we have 4 beautiful children, and they're a part of our lives, and we have, really strong professional growing careers. Anuja's running for state senate, and, I'm leading a large technology organization, and those are part of our lives because, they also give our kids something to look up to, is that, that we can do more, we can be more for society and for people. So our partnership is just based upon the fact that we support each other in terms of, almost architecting our lives in a way that looks at all of the different elements that are important to us and constructs it in a way. And we take every single day as, just a unique opportunity to make a difference in our kids' lives, in, our constituents' lives, and in each other's lives. So I think, if you think about it in that way and you don't really let, sweat the little problems that happen and you just figure out the way to make it work, that's how you create happiness in your lives.
Bring you back to the entrepreneurship question. A conference like this is where you get the opportunity to network with emerging entrepreneurs, a lot of innovation happening, and they look up to people like you and companies like you to take their technology to the next level. What is your advice for entrepreneurs in fintech space?
I think the most important thing is really understanding what problem that you're trying to solve at the end of the day, right? And how do you bring a unique value proposition in solving that problem through technology, for whatever client base that you're trying to achieve that, right? I mean, so many times I see different fintech startup that, it's hard to understand exactly what problem that they're trying to solve, or, given the economics of the industry, how they're truly going to disrupt the industry, what kind of their end game is. And some of that is unpredictable as well, but I think at the end of the day, you have to really think about what problem are you trying to solve and how are you doing it differently than other players are, right? And then also, if, like most entrepreneurs, what's your exit game, right? Who could benefit from this at the end of the day and scale it to a larger audience that could create value for a broader group of clients? So those are the attributes I would really think about.
Okay. If we have time, we can take one or two questions. Otherwise, we can close. No? There's one question there in the middle. Somebody help with the mic, please. Yeah, please.
Yep. So, just keep you awake at night. Is it as a CIO, having enough funds to add more features and compete with the robo-advisors like the Betterment and other people, or is it the people like Betterment adding $1 billion in their assets every 30 to 40 days?
Yeah, that's a great question. Adding more capabilities to benefit our clients is the thing that, and the pace by which we can do that is the thing that I probably spend the most time thinking about, right? And, as an entrepreneur, the challenge is often sort of breaking through glass, taking the risks, that you need to do in order to continue to move forward. For example, we were nowhere on our robo-advisor space just a couple of years ago, and we had to just adopt a just-do-it mentality and say, hey, we're gonna be put a robo-advisor out there that's different, that's better, and we're gonna do it quickly. We're gonna prototype it. We're not gonna let the corporate, immune system get in the way of blocking things like that. So we just did it, right? And so I think those are the things that worry me more than what other people are specifically doing. I recognize that other people are out there. We can do all of the things that other people are doing and more, but at times we get in our own way because of all of the things that I represented around linear thinking and the ability to make decisions internally, self-cannibalization, traditional demographics. So what I spend most of my time thinking about is how to continue to push the system forward so that we can get more of these ideas out more quickly to our clients.
Okay, one last question. Oh, here. Okay, go ahead.
So the organization I work for works with a lot of financial services client, a lot of times in the marketing side, and the challenges that they tell me about are primarily what you've just addressed, the internal challenges. Financial services isn't known for moving rapidly because there's so much regulation and fear. How have you been able to overcome those internal cultural challenges?
That's a great question. We started on a lean journey a couple of years ago, and I think that has really helped us in understanding what are the core value streams that are important to our clients. So, for example, account opening is like one of the lifebloods of our company, yet so many clients still have problems with it, just in terms of what's the status of my account, and then have gone from there in terms of just what is looking at it really from a client-in perspective around what is important to the client, what are clients likely going to call in about, what are they doing when they come into the branch. And then now we're spending most of our energy around automating all of that as much as we can through these new interfaces, whether that's the Amazon Echo or Facebook Messenger or potentially Apple Chat at some point, where the clients can get self-service for a lot of these basic questions, because that seems to be the irritant for a lot of the clients in terms of how they interact. That also frees up a lot of our sophisticated investor education time, for people when they have real questions about, how they should invest their money or which products are most suitable for their situation to actually spend their time. Right now, a lot of the financial services firms, their smart frontline people are fighting fires, in terms of, poor internal coordination. And so through automation, that's what we're focused on. We're fortunate to have a CEO where he's made our #1 priority is the client experience. And so because that is the #1 priority of the company, we're really able to orient ourselves completely around that.
Great. Thank you on behalf of the entire team here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been wonderful.
Thanks very much.